of you. And today we will discuss about to identifying business opportunity, which is belongs to the unit two. It is the last topic of the unit two. So, how to convert our idea to the business opportunity? So, first of all, we will discuss about that. What is the what kind of ideas are there? So, the entrepreneurial process is a major hurdle for every new and existing entrepreneur to overcome, from getting to the right idea to eventually building a successful business or not. All step, action, and decision made by every entrepreneur would have to be highly calculated in the smallest possible way. So basically, we already discussed about to what is idea, what is innovation, invention. So first five steps are following to find out the right business idea. Finding the right business idea, it is the first step. So identifying and evaluating the right opportunity is the first step to setting out an entrepreneur. So without a business idea, if you don't have a business idea, you can't start a business, and without a business you can't be termed as a entrepreneur. So basically, you must do market research first and to know what they really need. You must also look at your inner talent to figure out if whatever you have to choose and to start up in a good fit for you. For example, if you are working in the software company and if you want to open a software industries, a software company, so it is easy for you because you know very well about the how the software companies are working. Next one is developing the business plan. First, you identify the business idea. For example, you have to open a company regarding your idea, like cloud computing company, or like AI companies, like robotics company. So first of all, they have to find out the idea. Next, if your idea is found out, then you can develop the businessing plan. So the next step is make a business plan that suits you best. Having a plan doesn't entirely mean drafting a thorough business plan detailing several chapters and more. So if writing a business plan seems difficult, you can drop your plan by following a simple business plan template or highlighting the thing you want to achieve, and how then consulting the service of a professional to draw out a business plan for you. Third one is raising your seed funding. Your business plan is ready, then you have to find out the what where is to take a money. So receipt funding is basically getting fund for your business will be the one of the hardest thing you do as an entrepreneur. You could raise seed funding by getting an investment from angel investors, just like the Shark Tank, grant a bank loan, microfinance bank, family and friend. Fourth one, getting paying customer. So here is a real cracker. If you cannot get paying customer, your business at the lowest cost possible, your business will die out. No business can stay afloat without customer. If you don't have a customer, your businesses fail. Will be fail. The different factor you need to consider are both your customer acquisition cost and your customer retention cost. Success maybe or maybe failure. The entrepreneurial process could result in success or failure. If your business model didn't work, then you never really failed. But only identify one way that doesn't work. So it is important that if your small business fail, you should take a step back and revisit the event that led to what is the point of the failure. So highlight what went wrong and what worked. So entrepreneur never fail, but enterprise fail. That is a good thing. Entrepreneur does not fail, but the enterprises which is opened by the entrepreneur, that is fail. So next topic in this identify business opportunity assessment. How to assess the opportunity? So a opportunity assessment plan is not a business plan. It should be shorter, have focused on the opportunity, not the venture. It is having four components. First one is description of the product and the services. What kind of product are there? What is the market need? What is the competitive advantage? What are the strengths and weakness? And if there is any patent or IPR requirement, then we will done. Evaluation of the opportunity. So evaluation, what kind of size, past trend, future growth, anticipated growth of the industry, and what is the profile of your customer. Third one, entrepreneurial self-assessment. Why does the opportunity excite you? how does it fit in your background and experience, and why will you successful in this venture. Okay, so that is the self assessment. So what need to be done to translate opportunity into the viable venture? So first one is examine each critical step, identify sequence of activities, how much time and money will each step require, and identify the source of financing. So these are the some identify the opportunity to be done in the translate. Next is management skill for entrepreneur and managing for value creation. Okay, so value creation means we have to create the value of your venture. So in this classification, entrepreneurial skills is categorized in three groups, including technical, personal, and managerial skill. So component of entrepreneurial management skills under this category include time management, business planning, employee management, customer management, sales management, finance management, and the business management. So you have to manage all these things according to the time, according to the planning, according to the employee, customer, sales, finance, and business. So what is time management? Time management is valuable assets for your young entrepreneur in their time. As an entrepreneur, you have to take care of so many things together, and time management is the key to keep everything on track. It is vital to get more work done in less amount of time. By eliminating entrepreneurship, prioritizing tasks, and increasing effectiveness as well as productivity. Actually, time management allow entrepreneurs to assign a specific time slot to the activity as per their importance. It also gives them the ability to participate in economic forecasting and the market research. Next one is business planning. Every entrepreneur needs to develop a business plan or a blueprint of how will he develop his new ideas, new businesses. A good business plan consists of single document divided into several section, including the description of organization, market research, sales strategies, competitive analysis, and financial data. A well planned blueprint or project outline act as a strong foundation of the success of the venture. If it facilitates the entrepreneurs to make their business fit into the industry, identifying their target market and plan to capture them. Employee management, an entrepreneur must know how to manage the people, how should be the good judge of a character and abilities of an individual, such as hiring the right employee in the foremost step for the success of the company. Successful entrepreneur should know how to motivate the employee in order to work effectively and contribute to the garner customer experience. Customer management, an entrepreneur must know how to manage his relationship with existing customer with a focus on creating loyalty towards his business. This is the easiest and most effective method to increase revenues. Entrepreneur must have problem solving skill, communication skill, alternatives, and patience to manage customers effectively. Okay. Sales management, like sell your product, selling or sell management is essential skill. Every entrepreneur must master. You need to completely understand the sell activities, how to sell a product and where to sell product, and this help to entrepreneur to tackle the challenge that may face in their sale management journey. Next one is the financial management. Financial management, it is also the crucial task. Even if your business is handled by an accountant or a finance professional, you must know what kind of planning are there, what is organizing, what is directing and controlling the financial activities such as procurement and utilization of the fund. With a good financial management system, one can make decision to improve the business operation. Business management, being a successful entrepreneur, involve more than enthusiasm and a good eye for the new opportunities. A thorough understanding of the essential business function is a prerequisite of for entrepreneur who want to take their business to the next level. They must have to complete know how to general management, finance, marketing, operation management, purchasing, supply chain, human resource, and public relation. The next topic is the value creation. Value creation, already I have told to you, value means the what kind of value of your product. So the most successful organization understand that the purpose of any business is to create value for customers, employees, and investors, and the interest of these three groups are inextricably linked. So value for the customer, value for the employee, and the value for your investors. So therefore, sustainable value cannot be created for one group unless it is created for all of them. If all are in win-win condition, that your product value is good. The first focus should be on creating value for the customer. The first focus is customer, but this cannot be achieved unless the right employees. If your employees is not right, your customer is not satisfied, are developed and rewarded, and unless investors receive consistently attractive return. So all have on the win-win condition: customer happy, employee happy, and your investor happy. So that means your product is good. For the customer, what do you mean by the value creation in the customer point of view? It entails making product and providing services that customer find consistently useful. If you talked about the mobile phone, the Apple mobile phone is basically very first choice for the mobile phone because they are consistently according to the user's need. So it's today's economy. Such value creation is based typically on the product and the process innovation, on understanding unique customer needs with ever increasing speed and precision. Okay. But companies are involved, innovate, and deliver outstanding services only if they tap the commitment, energy, and imagination of their employee. If your employee is not satisfied, so then you cannot deliver a good product. Value must therefore be created for those employees in order to motivate and enable them. Value for employee include being treated respectfully and being involved in decision making. Employee also value meaningful work, excellent compensation possibilities, and continued training and development program. Creating value for the investors means delivering consistently high returns on their capital. If the investor not consistently return on the capital, so that is not good for the investor point of view. So this generally require both strong revenue growth and attractive profit margin. Their return can be achieved only if a company deliver sustained value for customer. For example, in this graph, there is a shareholder interest, there is customer and employee interest. Here are the zero sum views. Okay. Here is line of possibilities, and this is the win-win situation. If the customer happy, that shareholder is already increased. If the customer employee interest is good according to the time period, then also the shareholder and interest is also increased. So these are the some point win-win view, that is the condition of the win-win view. Here is the zero sum view where the investor are investor have a capital. So if the purpose of business is value creation, it follow that the mission of any company should be defined in terms of their its primary value adding activity. Simply put, Honda should think of itself primarily as a maker and marketer of the quality automobiles. Okay. McDonald's should think of itself as providing meal for consistent quality throughout the world in a clean, friendly atmosphere. While this may seem obvious, many manager and strategists behave as though the day-to-day business of a firm is irrelevant. Hence, an oil company might buy a hotel chain, while a national chain of automobile service center is caught systematically changing customer for unnecessary repair. So what conception of a business lies behind these actions? Typically, it is very narrow definition of purpose to maximize the wealth of the shareholder or to achieve a set of short-term financial goal. If you want to set some financial goal, you have to just put in the automobile. There are some garage, some part are repairable or etc. etc. So that is not good for long term investment, long term company growth. Some of the major change themes that underline successful value creation strategy in the information economy are product and process innovation, already discussed, detailed real-time understanding of changing need of well-defined customer sequence, frequently database enabled, leveraging emerging technologies, existing market, particularly information technology, leveraging technology or regularly change to create and market, reconfiguring company and industry value chain, creating win-win partnership with customers, employee and the suppliers. Creating and sustaining enterprising model and organizational effectiveness. So in this topic, basically we discuss about how to create and sustain enterprises model and what are kind of organizational effectiveness are there. So enterprise modeling is a term for the modeling of various processes, infrastructure, assets group or other element of a business or reorganization. Enterprises modeling help leaders to visualize what is going on with a business and how to make changes. Various kind of enterprises modeling help analysis to others to accomplish different tasks. Business process modeling give professional a word eye view of a particular business process in order to help with change management. Data modeling help database administration and other to more efficiently plan methodology for the use, storage and recall of data, one of the contemporary business largest assets. Another kind enterprises modeling is function or activity modeling, which can help provide a visual demonstration of workflow. So major part of the utility of enterprise modeling is related to the value of visual in planning. Second one is effectively representing structure, process or hierarchical visually. Planners can get much better information about a business and what change would look like. Enterprise modeling software help by automating a lot of what would otherwise have to be done manually to work up detailed and sophisticated model of complex business process such as supply chain. Organizational effectiveness is defined as a concept to measure the efficiency of an organization in meeting its objective with the help of given resources without putting undue strain on its employee. It is about how the company can produce the target quota of product, how efficient is process, and how much waste is produced. So, what kind of approach are for the organizational efficiencies? So, first is goal approach. In this goal approach, refer to optimal profit by offering the best services that will lead to high productivity. So, what kind of limitation are there? The limitation of goal approach is that it's a bit difficult to identify the real goal and the ideal goal. System resource approach. The system resource approach put its onus on the interdependency of the process that align the organization with its environment. It take the form input output transaction and exclude human, economic and physical resources. The limitation of this approach is that acquisition of resources from the environmental become aligned with the goal of the organization and thus it become quite similar to the goal oriented approach. Next is functional approach. So we in this functional approach we assume the organization has already identified its goal and now the focus should be upon attainment of these goals and how to serve society. So the limitation of this approach is that organization has the autonomy to take independent action for attaining its goals and show viabilities except serving society and its ultimate goal. So what are there are the 6 system of organization effectiveness. The first one is the leadership. One of the critical step is organization effectiveness is developing leadership within the company. It is leads who create a vision for their company, refine and execute critical process and translate value into strategy, take action and to be accountable. A leader has to answer three things. What is the value is offering to the customer to gain competitive advantage in the market? What kind of approach are there, and what are the alignment with this design process? Practice, strategy, structure, culture, they be able to create maximum condition for achieving company vision. Next one is the communication. Every organization need an effective communication system so that flow of information is very smooth. Leader can successfully when they communicate their message to their employee, in your people. This transparent communication strategy will keep the focus on common cause, minimize uncertainty, prevent excuses, and give weight to the decision of the leadership to shape the behavior and belief of the employee. Accountability of the company, their accountability is a great extent dependent on the concept of accountability. A company should build an environment where the individual as well as group is accountable for the task he participate in. So accountability determine how effectively the people perform the given function. If I perform function, that is I am accountable that particular function. The organization must take sure there are performance accountability system in place to clarify the expectation of the company and align the reward as well as consequence with the actual accomplishment. For delivery efficient strategy, the next step is the sixth system of organizational effectiveness is the delivery of product and services. It is fact that consumer and market are ever changing, and this means that a company should be prepared to shift and make adjustment to accommodate these changes as well as changes caused by the advantage in the technology. That next is the performance is also very effective in the organization. So human resource are the most valuable asset of the company, and this is why the proper emphasis is given on hiring and retaining of the best of the best. It is essential to find the right fit for the job and develop their skill and know how through training and the leveraging method to increase organization effectiveness. Last is measurement. It is imperative to measure organization effectiveness. Business entity must set on a standard set of metrics and develop a system to review and parameterize to analyze and measure take project productivity behavior and process. It is leader who establish and maintain the measurement system to track progress and review status regularly. So basically there are the example, there are the three companies are there, company A, company B and company C. Company A is privately owned tech company with 3 million users owned by a few renowned venture capital firm. Value 5 billion US dollar, employ about 100 people. No, company B, not for profit organization, employ over 12,500 people. Mostly a more improvised part of the US. Its product are made from the recycled disposable plastic, turning them into the durable product. The Worldwide Fund for the Nature employ around 6,000 people and is the leading organization of wildlife conservation. The organization lobbies for nature preservation and the restore wildlife habitat. So, effectiveness model or effectiveness means goal model accomplish its goal, internal high quality internal resource based model, obtaining resource needed for high performance, strategy constituency model, stakeholder model, competitive values model, and evidence model, like flourishing and virtuousness of the model. So these are the some goal approach we already discussed about. Next is internal process model. It look not in the outcome but what happens inside the organization. Okay. Resources based model, like according to the resources based view, from achieve a competitive advantage by exploring resources that are valuable, rare and hard to imitate or copy. Strategy constituency model, uh, assess effectiveness by measuring the degree to which it satisfies those in the environment who can threaten the organization survival. Its strategy constituency or interest group, each constitution has a degree of power of pursue different goal. Similar approach is stakeholder approach, same like as above. Competing value model is based on Cameron and Cohen competing values framework. This approach basically measures effectiveness by the ability of organizations simultaneously promote competing value. Abundance model, purpose for effectiveness equate to unleashing the highest potential of human system. This is about bringing forward positive value and the virtuousness. To do this effectively, there has to balance between positive and negative value. For example, excellence and flourishing cannot exist without difficult challenge and struggle. Both positive and negative elements are emotions are required to push the potential of human system. So these are the some references and okay, finish this topic. Thank you very much. If you have any query, just ask my mail ID guptapradeep@agc.ac.in. Thank you.